Hello all, welcome to today's topic. So today we are going to discuss diode applications. So we will be discussing various clipper circuits and then two of them we will simulate in LT-Spice. So let us directly begin with the topic. So before moving on to the clipper circuits, let us try to understand what do you mean by clipper. So if you have an input sinusoidal waveform, let me just turn on the annotation over here. Yeah. So if you have a sinusoidal signal like this, so you apply to a clipper network, so it will clip either the positive part of the input or the negative part of the input. So this clipper circuit, which clips the positive part of the output of the input signal, is called as positive clipper. And the clipper circuit which clips off the negative part of the input signal is called as the output, the negative clipper, and which clips both the positive as well as negative part of the input signal is called as the combinational clipper. So this is what a clipper will do. They will simply clip off either the positive, negative, or both positive and negative parts of the input waveform. So let us see the formal definition. So clipper circuits are network that employs diodes to clip away a portion of an input signal without disturbing the remaining part of the applied waveform. So that's what a clipper circuit means. So to understand the clipper circuit a little more, we have to understand something called as constant diode voltage model. So let us try to understand this point. Okay. So we already have studied PN junction before. This is the exponential relation between the diode voltage and the diode current, exponential relation, and this is the equation which is governed by this graph is governed by this equation. So diode, as we know, it's a two-terminal device. It allows the current flow in one direction and blocks the current flow in other direction. In simplicity, we can represent it like this. This is a diode symbol with its P anode and cathode, showing the polarity of the voltage and the direction of the current. So basically, it's a unidirectional device. In one direction only, it allowed the current flow. In other direction, it will block it. Okay, so we will see diode models now. So basically, they are the diode equivalent circuits which will best represent the actual terminal characteristics. So which will closely, whichever diode model will closely represent this circuit will be the better one. So let us see the first diode model. So why we require modeling is because why we require modeling of PN junction diode is the reason being is this diode is a non-linear device. So and if we apply this non-linear device, if we study this non-linear device, we have to solve non-linear equations whose solutions are not easily found. So for example, this one of the model is called as exponential model. It's quite accurate. So basically, it is exactly the replica of the terminal characteristics of a diode. So it represents that the diode have this characteristics, exponential characteristics. So, but we should know the value of IS. Now, what is IS? IS is the reverse saturation current. ID is the forward current. VD is the forward voltage. Eta is the ideality factor, and VT is the thermal voltage. So basically, if I know this value of IS, and if I know the value of the diode current, I can know the voltage across it. So we can do the other way around also. If we know the voltage across the diode and we know the reverse saturation current, we can find the current through the diode. So every time we have a diode in a circuit, we have to replace the diode with the above equation. So this is exponential relation, and we have to solve this to get the accurate value of ID, which is not so feasible every time. And this equation doesn't follow Ohm's law basically. So that's why we have to go for a simpler model than exponential model. No doubt it is very, very accurate, but it will require more computational steps. So we'll move on to another model. So there are actually three models. One is exponential model, which we have already seen, which we will not follow for time being, which will represent the actual diode characteristics, that is ID versus VD. We have two other models, but we have three other models basically. First is ideal diode model, next is constant voltage model, and other one is piecewise linear model. So basically, all these three models are the varieties of the diode PN junction diode model. So PN junction diode basically. Out of this is the most accurate, the exponential model. The next accurate is the piecewise linear model. Next is constant voltage model, and the last one is the ideal diode model. So these are the three models which are extremely accurate. Now we'll see them one by one. Well, piecewise linear model, it's an approximation of the diode model. So something like this. So if you have a smooth curve like this, the exponential curve, so this will be approximated by this line and a straight line with the slope. So we are not going to study into details, but I'm just informing you all there is a model called as piecewise linear model. So we'll directly go to, first we'll study the ideal diode model. So what does ideal diode model mean? The ideal diode model means if you have a diode, so the diode is turned on whenever your VD is just greater than zero. So let's say that VD is just Vx voltage, or we can consider the diode voltage. So whenever the diode voltage exceeds whenever the diode anode voltage exceeds the cathode voltage by zero, the diode will turn on, and the diode will be represented by a short circuit. And whenever the anode voltage is less than the cathode voltage by zero, then the diode is turned off and it will be replaced by open circuit. So it's a very, very simple model. It's not a very good approximation, and it's used for very less cases. So basically, ideal diode means ideal diode will pass positive voltages as it is, and it will block negative voltages. So basically, it means this. Now we'll go to a much more, a little bit more accurate model, which is called as constant voltage model. So basically, what is the constant voltage model? Let me just directly tell you. As you can see, this is my terminal characteristics of a diode, right? So this is VD and this is ID. So basically what we do is we take a diode voltage, that is the on state voltage of a diode, which is called as VD on, and we take an approximate straight line of it, right? So as you can see, this exponential curve will deviate slightly. So what it assumes is once the diode turns on, it will hold that voltage. So it will keep that voltage as it is. So that means if a diode on voltage is around zero point 0.7, so if the diode voltage, external voltage across the applied across the diode exceeds this zero point 0.7 volts, the diode will remain on. And if it is less than that, then the diode will remain off. So that is what is the mean by constant voltage model. The voltage will remain constant once the diode will turn on. So is this a good approximation? Yes, it is a good approximation. So what happens is you replace this diode with a battery, which is representing this VD-ON, and with an ideal diode. Now we already studied what is the ideal diode. Ideal diode will be replaced by a short circuit if it is on, and will be replaced by open circuit if it is off. So this VD-ON, the value of this VD-ON closely goes anyways in the range of zero point 0.6 to zero point 0.8 volts. Typically, we consider it to be zero point 0.7 volts, the turn on voltage of the diode. So this is VD-ON. So that is what you mean by constant voltage model. Again, I repeat, the diode will be on when the anode voltage is greater than the cathode voltage by VD-ON. So that is VD-ON is zero point 0.7. So by VD-ON. And if the anode voltage is less than the cathode voltage by VD-ON, that is this. If the diode voltage is less than this, diode will be off. If the diode voltage is greater than this zero point 0.7, it will be on. So as simple as it is. And in a constant voltage model, you have to replace it like this. Even though I've showed a diode symbol here, we have to replace it by a short circuit or open circuit whenever it is on or off. So basically your exponential behavior is squeezed into a straight line basically. So it's a quite a reasonable approximation. Now, because we generally prefer constant voltage model because it will simplify our calculations a lot. Because ideally, ideal diodes are not really existing. We have practical diodes which we use in a laboratory. If you remember, IN4148 or IN4007 are the two practical diodes which we have, and their turn-on voltage is close to around zero point 0.6 to zero point 0.8. So now let us directly jump into the clipper circuit. So this is about the model. So let me just revise you a bit the constant voltage model. So this is what a constant voltage model looks like. So if the external voltage, if the diode voltage is less than VD on, the diode is off and it is replaced by open circuit. And if the external voltage wants to exceed this VD on, the diode is on and it is replaced by a closed switch and a battery which is representing a VD on. So please remember this, for every diode, we have to replace it like this. If it is on, we have to replace it by short circuit and a supply VD on, representing that the diode is on. And if it is off, then we have to represent it by open circuit. And typically, the value of VD on is between zero point 0.7 to zero point 0.8 volts. So let us directly start with the clipper circuit. So basically, we have seen the definition of a clipper, and we have seen that what the clipper will do. So clipper will either clip the positive portion or the negative portion, or both the positive as well as the negative portion of the input signal. So there are various types of clippers. So clippers are positive clippers, negative clippers, series, parallel, combinational. So we'll learn more about them in a short while. But let us directly go to our first circuit. Okay, so this is my clipper circuit. So what we will do is we will understand the working a little later. First, we will try to directly simulate this in LT-Spice and see what happens really. So let me just keep this screen a little bit on, and let me just turn on the LT-Spice window. First, we'll simulate this and then we'll analyze what exactly has happened in this. Okay, so let me just adjust the screen and let me open the new schematic and let me have this circuit over here. Okay, I guess it is fitting now. Let me reduce it a little more. Yeah, now it's fine. So let me build up the circuit and let us see what happens really. So for this, I need a diode. I need a resistor basically first. So resistor, I can take it from here. I'll control R to rotate. Then I require a diode. A diode is available here. So I can place this diode over here in the screen. And I require a voltage source, AC voltage source basically. So you can select this voltage source. AC voltage source, you can directly type here sine. It will directly come over here like this. Okay, and nothing else. Only three components we require: a simple resistor, a diode, and a supply. So it's a very simple diode application, but really useful. So let me connect this circuit now. I think the lower one I have connected a little too much. So let me just reduce the width of it. And don't forget to connect the ground also. Okay, the circuit connection is made. Now I have to connect this to ground. So this is my circuit is complete. Now what we need to do is we need to define what will be my diode, what will be the value of this resistor. Let me take it as a standard 1 kilo ohm resistance. The voltage will be let's say 10 volts peak to peak. So it will be phi. This will take the peak value and let the frequency be 1 kilohertz. Diode which we are selecting over here is a practical diode. So right click on the diode, click on pick new diode and select IN4148. So this is normally which you must have used inside your lab. And yeah, your circuit is ready. So let me just label this input and output node. So let me just call this as V in, and similarly I'll call it this as V out. And we are ready to build up the circuitry. So I'll click on simulate. I'll click on run. Now we want input versus time and output versus time. So what we will do is we need to specify here the stop time. So basically we know that time is opposite of frequency. So their frequency is 1 kilohertz. So we select the time as 1 upon 1. So that will come out to be 1 millisecond. But we want around 3 cycles. Let's say we want 3 sinusoidal cycles. So we'll put here 3 milliseconds and click on OK. So as you can see, as soon as I do that, blank screen will come with x-axis as from starting from 0 and ending at 3 milliseconds. And now what I can do is, now I can right click on this blank screen and click on add trace. So here I will see parameters. So I'll plot V in first. So as you can see, the V in is plotted with peak to peak value of 10 volts peak to peak and 3 sinusoidal cycles as desired. Now we'll plot V out. We don't know what the circuit will do. Let us just blindly plot this V out. Yeah. So here we have it. So V out is plotted, but we don't know this circuit is really is doing it. Of course, definitely it's a kind of a, clipper circuit. It is the blue part is my output and my red is my input. So definitely it is clipping off the positive portion of the the input waveform. So definitely it's a positive clipper circuit. But how does the working is? Let us study and analyze this a little further. Let me keep this on and let me explain you how we got this output. Okay, so let us analyze the circuit over here. So basically this is using ideal diode model. We have to go to a constant voltage model basically. Yeah, this is a little better. So we have to assume a constant voltage model. That means this diode is having a turn on voltage of around 0.7 or 0.6. So that's what is the requirement. So first we'll study the first case. So first case is when the diode voltage, that is V in, is less than VD on. So whenever the diode voltage is V in is less than VD on, that time the diode voltage is off. That time I will just show it to you. Yeah. So the diode is off whenever V in is less than VD on. So let's say that VD on voltage over here is around 0.7. So whenever V in, let us concentrate on this waveform now. So whenever V in, let me just expand it. Yeah, yeah. So this is my circuit. As you can see, this is the circuit over here. As you can see in your screen. Let me adjust this PDF a little. Yeah. So now concentrate, please. Let's say that voltage over here is V in. Over here the voltage is V in, and this V in voltage, whenever V in voltage is less than VD on. Let's say that VD on is around 0.7. So I am draw a line over here of 0.7, right? So whenever input is less than VD on, so what is my input? Input can have a value from 0. It can go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will reach the 5 maximum. Again, it will go to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Then it will go to 0, -1, -2, -5. Then again -5, -4, -2, -1, -0. Again it will increase. So V in is constantly increasing and decreasing because it is a sinusoidal signal. So what is this saying is whenever the V in is less than VD on, that time my diode over here is off. And whenever the diode is off, it is replaced by a open circuit. So this diode will be replaced by open circuit. So what happens to this circuit over here? When this diode is replaced by open circuit, so whenever this diode is replaced by open circuit, we have this becomes open circuit, right? So there will be no current flowing. That means my output voltage will be same as my input voltage. So that is what is exactly happening here. Your output voltage is following the input voltage as it is. As soon as, so what happens now? As soon as the diode voltage, that is the input voltage, crosses this VDON, so this input voltage, this input voltage crosses this VDON. Now VDON is what? 0.7. So that means the diode is turned on. So whenever the diode is turned on, we have seen that using the constant voltage model, the diode will be replaced by a short circuit and a VDON. Now what is VDON? Let's consider it to be 0.7. So here the output voltage will be just 0.7 as it is. So throughout, whenever the Vin is greater than the VDON, that is whenever the diode is on, it will keep the output voltage at VDON. That is, the output voltage will be a constant at VDON, as you can see over here. Now let us cross check this with the output waveforms. As you can see, let me just take one cursor over here and keep the cursor over here. As you can see, the VDON voltage over here, we are getting 353.34 millivolt. That is around 0.65. So 0.65 is my VDON voltage for this diode 4148. So basically what it says is, as long as my Vin is less than 0.653 volts, my diode is off. And whenever the diode is off, my output is following the input. So as you can see, this entire negative half cycle is following the input. The output is following the input. So in the negative half cycle, entirely the diode is off, and it is off until the voltage is the input is less than the VDON. That is in this case 0.653 volt. And as soon as the diode input crosses this VDON, it is replaced by a short circuit and this VDON, and the output circuit will be limited to this 0.653. So as you can see, the output voltage is clipped as soon as it is tried to go beyond this value VDON. So that's what the meaning is, and that's how the circuit will look exactly like this. I hope this explanation is very, very intuitive and very simple. I hope you all might have followed this. Now, let me just explain this with another example. I hope this is clear. Now, let me explain you one more characteristic. So this circuit over here is indeed a clipper circuit. So let me just add it over here. Clipper circuit. Let me just write clipper circuit 1. So this circuit will act as a clipper, that will, it will clip off a positive portion of my input signal. We have just now seen. Then there is one more characteristics which is called as voltage transfer characteristics. So this is what a voltage transfer characteristics will look like. So basically I will just show you how to plot it. So we'll go to run, and you see we get a time axis over here. So just replace that time axis by V of V in. Okay. So as you do that, you will get the x-axis as V in. So what is your VTC curve? VTC curve is nothing but a curve between the V in and V out. So let us try to plot it first, and then we'll try to understand. So we have to plot V out directly over here. So yeah, we got the characteristics already. Now, as you can see, this characteristics is resembling this curve. As you can see closely, from 0, the curve is a straight line like this, passing from 0, and it is going up till VDON, and then it is remaining almost constant. As you can see, almost constant, I said, it's not exactly constant. So around, let us see at what voltage it is going. So around point around 0.64, around 0.64 is behaving as a constant basically. So if you see there, this voltage will be at around 0.65, around 0.65. As you can see, 0.65, x-axis will be 0.65. So x-axis is my input, right? So if V in crosses this VD on, here we can see, I can just show it to you. So whenever V in is less than VD on, that time my diode is off. And whenever my diode is off, my input will follow the output. So what is the meaning of input following the output? A straight line passing through the origin having a slope of 1. So this is the straight line passing through the origin having a slope of 1. And whenever the input crosses VD on, that time my output will be saturated or limited, or it will be a straight line. So whenever my input is greater than VD on, that is around 0.65, the diode is on and the output voltage will be just this VD on. So that is what is being shown over here. So this characteristics is called as VTC curve. Let me just write it over here. This will be called as V voltage transfer characteristics curve, VTC curve. Okay. Now let us go back to the circuit and let us do small changes and see that how we can vary this. What is the beauty of this LT spice? Now we will do a slight variation. Now we'll add external DC voltage over here of VB value. Now let us do that change over here. So what I will do is I'll shift this diode a little up. Okay. So let me just shift this diode a little up and add a voltage source, a DC voltage source like this. And I'll join this. Just one change. And I call this as around, give this value as around 1 volt, and I call this as VB, a bias voltage. So I'll do this change, that's it. And let us see what output you get. So I'll run this and I'll add trace V in and then I'll add V out. Oh, it looks the same. But hold on, this level has shifted up a little. So let us see that what has happened actually. So first of all, let us calculate this level. This is around 1.634 volt. So isn't it sounding familiar? The bias voltage which we have applied over here has shifted the entire waveform up. Shifted this level by 1 volt up. So earlier it was around 0.65. Now it has become 1.64, close to that. Okay. Now let us see that the working, how it works. So this, remember this value. It is around 1 volt plus VD on basically. So again, it is clipping of the positive cycle of the input waveform. So let us see how this will work. So we again assume that the diode is using the constant voltage model. So here what happens is the diode will be on. We have to just determine when the diode will be on, right? So this bias voltage, is it helping this diode to turn on? No, actually. So basically, we have applied a positive voltage. Positive voltage is connected to the cathode terminal, so it is not helping. So when this diode will turn on, if this bias voltage is not present, the diode voltage will turn on just at VD on. But now, if the input has to be greater than this, it has to overcome this VD on plus this bias voltage. So the diode will turn on only when the input is greater than this VD on plus this VB, the bias voltage. So basically in this case, the bias voltage is 1 volt and the diode on voltage, the diode on voltage is around 0.64. So whenever the V in is greater than 1.64, that is 0.64 plus 1 volt, only then the diode will remain on. And whenever the diode is turning on, it is replaced by this short circuit and this VD on. And we already have a VB over here. So what is my output voltage given by? Output voltage is just given by VD on plus VB. So that is what you see over here. VD on is around 0.64 and this VB is around 1 volt. So V out voltage will be, as we have seen over here, 1.64. So it is very, very clear. And whenever the input voltage is less than this, that is the input voltage is less than VD on plus VB, the diode will be off and the circuit will be reducing to this. So if this is the circuit, then the no current will be flowing. So as the input is applied, same will be the output. So output will be following the input whenever the diode is off. So as you can see, whenever the input voltage is less than 1.64, the it will follow the input signal. The output will follow the input signal as it is. So that's the working of this circuitry. So just by adding this bias voltage, we have shifted the clipping level a little up. And similarly, we can observe the the characteristics, the voltage transfer characteristics. I can close this. I can run this waveform, run this, simulate this circuit once again, and I change this input as V in, and I plot V out. So as you can see, this at this zero, from zero it is a straight line. As you can see, we have earlier seen. So input will be following the output as it is, as long as input is less than VD on plus VB. So this is my VD on plus VB around 1.7 volts. As you can see, let me just yeah, take this around over here. So close to around 1.64 volts. As you can see, 1.64 volts. Whenever the input is around greater than 1.64 volts, the this line will be a straight line. That means input will follow the output, and once the input is increasing beyond this value, the output will be a constant with equal to 1.64, which is VB plus VD on. So this is called as voltage transfer characteristics. So as you can see over here, this is my VTC curve for this clipper circuit, and this is my let me just draw it again, simulate this again quickly. These are my input output waveforms of a simple clipper circuit. So this circuit is similar to what we are resembling over here. So this will be VB plus VD on. In our case, VB is around 1 volt and VD on is around 0.64. So this level will be around 1.64. So that's how we get the clipper circuit simulation in LT-Spice. We have basically many clipper circuits. As you can see over here, this is another ebook which will be shared with you all. So we have just seen one of these clipper circuits. We have many such clipper circuits over here. We can simulate all of them in LT-Spice. Basically, these are all ideal diodes. Whenever we simulate in LT-Spice, you have to consider the constant voltage model. So we have so many clipper circuits. So you can try them, all of them, and we can verify these waveforms very easily. So that's it for today's lecture. So today we have seen the clipper circuit 1 and 2. We have seen two varieties of clipper circuits, and we have seen that the clipper circuit will clip off the either positive or negative half of the input signal. So next time we'll see more about the clamper circuit. So that's it for today.